And a very good evening to all my viewers out there. It is right now Sunday, December 18th, 2022. It's exactly 12:10 a.m. and we are here on Mont Royal here in Montreal, Canada. And look around, we got a beautiful snowstorm that has just fallen here on the city, about 30 centimeters of snow. For my viewers out there that maybe in other countries where you don't get snow or other regions where it's too hot for snow, well, I offer you this video as a gift. And for those of you that live in Montreal, well, maybe you don't come to Mont Royal often or see Mont Royal in the winter. Well, this one's for you as well. And this video is being filmed on my gimbal, so hopefully it's a nice smooth video. My goal in this video is to walk here, which is the cross of Mont Royal, which I'll talk about in a second. And to start here, go to the Mont Royal Lookout, which is about 9 minutes from here, and then end at the Peel entrance. And if everything goes as planned, that's how this walking video is going to turn out. So we'll start here. I just did a little video here of the cross on Mont Royal. If you want to see more about it, I have a short describing the history and whatnot. And of course, the cross of Mont Royal you can see pretty much from anywhere in the city. And we are going to make our way now down this path. And very quiet, very tranquil, but you're going to see different areas that we're coming up to where you're probably going to see parts of the city, and here probably traffic or emergency vehicles and whatnot. So for now, look at this beautiful, beautiful snow. I'll occasionally turn the flash on like this so you can see. And other times I'll turn it off like this just so you can appreciate the natural evening, nighttime beauty of Mont Royal. So Mont Royal, of course, is pretty much in the center of Montreal. It's a very large park. It's not actually a mountain, it's more of a hill. And this park was actually, well, the actual hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, it's always been here. Part of the geography of the region. Some people think it was a volcano, but it wasn't actually a volcano. It's, to put it in a simplified term, it's basically lava that pushed the ground up and resulted in this, I guess you could say, a little hill. And that's the same, I believe, for Mont Saint Hilaire, Mont Saint Bruno, and the other mountains around. Now, of course, hundreds of years ago, this was all trees. It was inhabited by the natives, First Nations, and then of course in the 1500s, that's when the Europeans came, basically built Montreal, and then they turned this park, was developed, it was obviously forest at one time, and it was developed by Olmsted, the same person that developed Central Park in New York City. Put some walking paths. There was actually a little ski slope at one point, a little funicular that would bring you up, funicular, the little like cable car thing, which I have a video of what's left of it on my channel. Right now we're looking at the city through the trees. We're going to get better views of the city. I'm not really orientated because this is Mont Royal, and the paths, the way they snake around can sometimes be a little confusing, but that's the Jacques Cartier Bridge in the distance where it's purple. So we're facing more or less to the south, maybe southeast. So we're going to stay on the path for most of the video, just to make it easier for me to walk. I had quite a hard time coming up this mountain, this park earlier, because I took the 11 bus, and the stairs that I usually take, they were actually closed for renovations. So I had to make my own path and circumvent that construction zone, but I made it. And you can see some paths are not open for winter, but people still use them anyway. It's more of a safety issue, I guess. That's why they don't want people going on the paths, but also because some of the paths are, I was in the news, some of the paths are being used too much by people, and it's creating problems with the biodiversity here on Mont Royal. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this video. I will occasionally stop talking so you can enjoy the natural sounds. Here's another look at the cross where we just were. Now, usually this time of night there's not many people, but there is the occasional people walking their dog, hiking around. And alright, so I just had to clean my lens off there a bit because occasionally there is some snow blowing around. It has stopped snowing. Now, there was about 30 centimeters that fell on the city, and as you can see, it's very heavy here on top of Mount Royal because, well, it's colder and there's usually more snowfall at higher elevations. So we gotta watch out for snow falling from the branches. I'll briefly pan up. You can see quite a lot of snow in those branches right now. So occasionally I might get a little dusting on the camera. I may have to clean it off temporarily. But yeah, very beautiful right now. Temperature wise, it's about 0 degrees Celsius. I think that's 32 Fahrenheit. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife, but not really optimistic of that because a lot of the animals are hibernating and it is nighttime. Now, I did see an owl here a couple of years ago at night. That's also on my channel. So things will get a little bit more interesting as we continue. Some popular activities here in winter include sledding, tubing, cross-country skiing. And I believe, one of the beautiful things about the mountain is it's an all-season mountain. There's always some activities you can enjoy. One of the things, though, that is important is, of course, preserving the natural state of the mountain. And I know there was a news story, as I mentioned earlier, that there's too many people going to the mountain or specifically off path. So that's why I try to stay on the main paths. And it's a very slow descent, and you definitely don't have to be an expert to climb the mountain. It's a very family-friendly path, at least the main one. And there's your signs right there. So we are on Chemin Olmsted. Here, I'll pan up. Chemin Olmsted. That's of course named after the developer of the mountain, the park, the paths. Another interesting aspect of Mount Royal, we're not going to see it in this video, but yes, I do have it on my channel, is the Mount Royal Broadcasting Tower, which is right over there. You can't really see it, but it's through the trees, those red lights. That is officially, if you climb that tower to the top, which you can't for obvious reasons, it's not safe. But if you were to climb that tower to the top, you would officially be at the highest level of Montreal and the immediate surrounding area. Just a little note, little trivia note, that cross we saw, I forgot to mention the details. I do have it written down somewhere here on a piece of paper. I'll find it and I'll read it. The one I used for my short, I think I still have it. Or maybe I don't have it. Maybe I put it away. But anyway, that cross, apparently, the rules of the city-state, you cannot build any building higher than the cross. Here it is. So here's the stats on the cross that we just saw when I started my video. So the cross, is 103 feet tall. That's 36.4 meters high. And the width is 36 feet. That's 11 meters wide. And it was built between May and September of 1924. And apparently, just reading this here, as I read in my short video, it consists of 1,830 pieces of steel and 6,000 rivets put it together. 26 tons, that's 52,000 pounds, and 158 LED lights. So in, I think it was 2009, there was the old style lights, regular light bulbs, and they changed it to LEDs. And the actual cross itself is 827 feet. That's 250 meters above sea level. So that gives you an idea how tall Mount Royal is, which isn't really that tall considering there's, of course, much higher hills in the area. I think Mont Saint Hilaire is at least almost twice as tall as this, which is to the south of Montreal. And by the way, one of the things you will see often on Mount Royal, well, I guess there's none here right now, there's usually a bird feeder here. Mount Royal is home to hundreds of different species of animals, including birds, insects. We have a salamander as well. There's a red fox. There's the downtown core of Montreal, by the way, which, if all goes as planned, I'll do a walking video on St. Catherine Street after, at nighttime, with the Christmas decorations. It is getting late, of course, but hey, I like filming. Now it seems that there's a bit of construction going on the mountain because it's winter time. I assume that's why they wait until winter, because of course summer is much more busy. And yeah, I'm glad to be using the gimbal again. I mean, I purchased it earlier this year and glad to get it in use. Definitely makes for smoother videos, as long as you're gentle. So here is, I believe, yeah, this is the Mount Royal Lookout. Adirondack Lookout it's called. And we're going to get a nice view of the city in a moment. I don't think it's open, but this building is beautiful inside. I'll definitely do a daytime version of this video. And look at this, there's an idea of how thick the snow is, how much has fallen. Look at that light. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a nice view of the city from up here. And in some ways it's better to come at night, some ways it's better to come during the day. Nighttime's better, well, daytime's better in the sense of, you know, you can see more because of the illumination from the sun. But nighttime's better because of the lighting of the city and the lights in the distance. Now tonight's a bit snowy, specifically south of here, but you will be able to see at least something. And you can see we got a gentle breeze tonight. Those clouds, those flags are blowing. That flag right there is the City of Montreal flag. That's the Canadian flag. And there she is, the City of Montreal, right there. And this is facing to the south. So just for reference purposes, right down there is 1000 de la Gauchetière with that light flashing. Place Ville Marie is right over there. I'm going to zoom in actually. Let's see if I could zoom in with the gimbal. Is there a setting on here? Maybe not. Nope, I'm going to have to do it manually. No problem. Okay, yeah, so there's Place Ville Marie. This building right here, they always light it up at Christmas time. Looks like a Christmas tree. You got the red and green LED lights. Let's go over here and actually go to the observatory itself. And here's the main building where you can go inside, warm up, get a hot chocolate. I'll save the inside view for another day because I don't even think it's open right now. Alright, so let's make our way to the observatory. And you'll get a better view of everything from here. Very nice open area. Come here during a windstorm, depending on the wind direction. It's quite an experience. Come here during a snowstorm, also quite an experience. Alright, there it is, Montreal, from high above. And I'll definitely snap some photos here. And the sounds you hear are snowplows. Of course, snow removal is happening because of the snowstorm. Beautiful view of the city. We'll make our way around the perimeter of the observatory before making our way back, because we're going to be taking this path right here, and we're going to be taking quite a bit of stairs. And one thing that is worth noting, I'll put my flash on temporarily. These things here tell you different points of reference. So here, St. Helens Island and the World Exhibition from 1967, which is of course right down there, where the Jacques Cartier Bridge is, more or less. Alright, so we'll make our way around here, the perimeter. And this, of course, would be, I believe, Peel Street, which is this main street right here, which is where we're going to be ending our walk. Or, I think that's Peel. Could be wrong. Definitely a very beautiful place to take pictures, take video. I'll stay here for a second or so. And, yeah, this is definitely facing more south. And now what we'll do is we'll check out facing to the west. There's another view of the Mount Royal Broadcasting Tower, by the way. Alright, so yeah, this is more facing to the west or southwest. That would be Atwater in that area. Atwater in that direction. And if we pan around here quite slowly, you can see, look at that, there's the Leonard Cohen mural. That's on Crescent Street. There's the Leonard Cohen mural. Alright, so we'll zoom back out. I'll give you one last look at the city here. Now we'll get back to the quiet trail. I'll pan around here. Try to balance the camera. So we'll start over here. So again, this is the Jacques Cartier Bridge. This is facing to the east down here. And this is more to the south. And this is more to the West Island. Verdun area. Oh yeah, we got a nice big Christmas tree down there as well. See that? Alright, so now we're gonna basically head back the way we came, and we're gonna head to this little path over here. I'm gonna try to keep the camera as high as possible, because I notice sometimes when I'm doing these videos with the gimbal, I tend to film too low, so I'll adjust the angle. Not always, it doesn't always happen, but occasionally. Yeah, so there's the CBC. That's actually the Mount Royal Broadcasting Tower, but it does include CBC, I think other TV channels. Also includes some radio stations as well. And of course the Mount Royal Broadcasting Tower, as I mentioned. I think it was here since the early, definitely between maybe 1930s, 40s. It was built, maybe a bit later, a bit earlier. Alright, so now it's going to be a little bit more quiet and a little bit more challenging, because we are going to be going down quite a bit of stairs. And hopefully I have enough battery left, because I really would love to do a walking video, at least partially downtown, in time for Christmas and New Year's. Alright, here we go. So we are coming up to the first part of stairs. Now, depends on the day, depends on the time. Usually you got to be careful, because these stairs are not always maintained. In winter, they're not always plowed, shoveled. The bigger set of stairs, also you got to be careful, which we're coming up to. I forget how many stairs exactly there are, but you'll see soon. And I noticed they used to have, I think, a banister on this side, which they took away recently. I'll give you a quick view here of the city before we continue. I'll take a break. Alright, so now we're going to continue heading down. If I do fall on, well, while I'm filming, well, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, so this is the first set of stairs. As I said, there's a much bigger set coming up. They recently renovated these. So as you can see, we are going down the mountain now. And if you have any comments, questions about Mount Royal, or anything involving my content, definitely let me know in the comment section. As I always say, you know, if you like it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. So as we get lower, we're getting closer to the city, which means that we're going to be getting a bit more... Oh, there we go, almost went there. Thankfully, I kept my footing. Look, that's going to happen. Just going to pause for a second, readjust myself. Yeah, so I'm going to actually turn my flash on here because definitely I almost took a spill, and this is why. Look at this, these stairs are not cleared at all. This is more like a slide at this point than stairs. The question is, how am I going to get down here? Should I keep filming or should I maybe just... I'm going to pause the video until I get down because I'm going to need both hands for this to get down. Alright, actually I'm fine. I just had to go on the edge here and take my time. But yeah, definitely quite ridiculous that they don't clear these. But I guess they can't do it all the time. Alright, so we're going to be careful, especially on this much bigger set of stairs coming up. Because one wrong move, you're going down 100 stairs or more. So far it looks like I found a trick to this, the hack, if you want to call it that. And that is to stay on the edge and hold on. Alright, so we're going to get another little view here of the city. As we are getting lower and lower to ground level. Here's another path, by the way, that goes right back up the mountain towards the east. And of course I do apologize for almost falling there. But looks like me and the gimbal saved the day. So look at this. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you, put the flash on. Look at how dangerous this is. One wrong move and you're going to be sliding down there. So here we go. We're going to be very careful. I guess if I fall, we're all falling. And the good news is if you see this uploaded to YouTube, it means that I survived. Whoa, there we go. Almost went there. Oh yeah, this is definitely more challenging than I thought. Looks like the other side's clear. Oh yeah, this is definitely something I did not consider when coming here to do this. But hey, you know what? It's worth it. Makes for a little bit more interesting content. So forgive me as I take one stair at a time here. And when we get to this little landing down here, I'm going to reposition myself, meaning I may walk on the other side. And when we get to this landing, I'll get a chance to calm down there because I had two little scares in a row. All right, now look how far we got to go down, all the way down here. Look at that. All right, so looks like the right side of the stairs is a little bit more clear, so we'll try it now while I reposition myself. Look at the city through the trees. And I'll just show you where we came from up there. All right, so now we're gonna be careful. We're gonna put our flash on again for extra light here. Oh, it looks like both sides are just as bad. All right, so in that case, we're just gonna take our time and slowly descend the stairs. All right, another set coming up here. So as I do the stairs, I'll put the camera towards the city so it's a little bit more entertaining. It looks like, well, we can see the bottom at least of where we're going. I wonder if anyone has fallen down these stairs yet this winter. I could tell you in winters past, these stairs were much more maintained than they are now. I remember on the days of snowstorm, you would have a crew of guys out here shoveling. But, you know, modern times, I guess, budget cuts and whatnot, you gotta fend for yourself. one could argue going up the stairs is easier because, well, if you fall up the stairs, it's not as bad as falling down, I guess. This section here is really bad. But you can see we're coming to the bottom. Thankfully, it's not one big section of stairs, because if you were to fall down those, wow, that would not be fun. You can see there's points where the stairs break. There's landings. And my body temperature is so warm right now that I have steam coming off of my hands. I didn't bring gloves. I should have brought gloves. Not for the air temperature, but for holding on to things. Like a metal banister in the freezing cold. Even though it's not that cold out. Oh, there, we almost went again. Third time's the charm. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more entertaining walking videos I have done in a while. And one of the more dangerous ones, just by walking downstairs. But considering that we just had a snowstorm, considering that it's winter and there's ice and whatnot, I can only blame myself for this decision. But as I said, as long as you see this video on YouTube, it means I have survived. Alright, we're almost at the bottom. Now it seems that it's getting harder and harder to go down as we get closer to the bottom. Alright. Definitely got to be careful on this set because this is pure snow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down sideways. Sorry if you're getting a bit dizzy. Whoa. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, there you go. That was going to happen. At least it was near the bottom. Oh yeah. That was fun. That's going to go on the blooper highlight reel. Oh man, that was awesome. Could have been worse, but as soon as I fell, I went right down on my butt and it was more of a slide. Oh yeah, we made it. All right, I'm going to pause the video here to recompose myself. All right, we made it to the bottom of these stairs. Look at that. And I actually, as I was repositioning myself, noticed that the gimbal was starting to go on an angle. So I guess it's starting to get too cold for the gimbal. Maybe the battery of the gimbal is getting low. But we're going to continue our last part of our journey here, hopefully without incident. And we're going to get to Peel Street. But the gimbal held up pretty well. It did its job, even when I went sliding down the stairs there a couple of times. Specifically at the end, did a pretty good job of maintaining itself. So for the next 5 minutes, maybe more, maybe less, I'm just going to keep quiet and I'll let nature and the natural sounds do the talking, and I'll turn the flash off here. Actually, I'll keep it on because it does give a bit of a better view of everything, illuminates everything. I will say this though, it looks like these stairs have been plowed. Wow, that's random, a shovel. Maybe that shovel's meant to stay here. So I'll just say that we are coming to Peel Street, one of the main entrance and exits of the mountain. Turn this off for a second, save some battery. Yikes, almost took a spill again there. If you hear water, that's because there's a natural stream here underneath the snow. Not sure when I'm going to upload this video, but probably will be in the week coming up. Maybe even Monday, the 19th. Maybe put it together tonight, upload it overnight, so it's processed in time for Monday when I schedule it. Yeah, I think I'll do it Monday, and I'll do my downtown walk on Wednesday for my Wednesday walk video. But yeah, we're coming up now to the bottom, thankfully. We also had the choice of taking this little snake path here if we had wanted to, but I'd rather stick to the stairs in this part of the journey. One look behind us here at the mountain before we head back to the ground. Oh, that was quite the workout, so definitely got my exercise. Hopefully the gimbal is just cold. I know I didn't have any impact on the gimbal or anything like that. It's probably just cold and the battery is getting low. And on the phone right now, the battery is actually at 52%, which is pretty good. I think I started at 90% or 87. There you can see that little creek there. It's natural, but I know it was also renovated a few times or redone. Could have even been at least diverted from its original path, but I know there is a natural water source on the top of the mountain just from all the runoff and whatnot. Come here in the springtime when the thaw is going on, really beautiful to see. They got a lot of water volume. All right, I think we've made it to the bottom. I'm not going to jinx it, but it looks like we have. Yeah, so this is Pine Avenue. Whoa, look at that. Almost fell again. All right, so I'm going to wrap her up here. So yeah, it looks like we made it because hopefully this video is on YouTube. Yeah, a bit of an entertaining video there. You know, sometimes it's fun to have fun. There's your stream. I'll put the flash on for a minute. Beautiful, beautiful. Nature at its best. And now we're on Pine Avenue and the corner of Peel. Peel is right down that way. That's Peel Street. And this here is Pine. Alright, so thank you all for watching. And remember, if you like what you see and you appreciate my hard work, especially what I had to do to put together this video tonight, falling down, climbing obstacles before I even started filming, well, hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and indeed more videos to come. All right, have a good night, everybody.